Hey everybody, welcome! We are back after a 2-week hiatus, and I'm making some quick hotshot changes right now. Oh cool, Wolverine's art stayed the perfect size. We'll see if Mavra's does the same. Not quite, but pretty close.
Only Para gets the forehead treatment.
Yeah, I'm too powerful.
Okay. So that should be good there. Don't want that playing, but very, very quiet. Got a VOD channel for streams that get auto removed from Twitch. Yeah, I have all my collections for everything that we've streamed saved as highlights. So if you go to the collections, you can view them all. Hikage.
It's a Hikage.
Oh my god, it is, you're right.
Hokage? What?
We have switched art styles a little bit, guys. A little bit. I mean, a lot of it.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Because white people.
That is the reason. They really pushed for it.
Been long years, Hikage.
It is indeed. 10 long
Okay.
years.
I'll be right back. I need to take my dog out to pee before he pees.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my
She's
god.
gonna miss
Oh my
a
god.
bunch of stuff. Hey,
Fucking cry about it.
everyone,
I
have
know.
will.
you all have new tokens on the map, so you should take those tokens and put them where you would be standing when you woke up. The only one who shouldn't move their token is Uzmir, because he already has a slime token out there, and I need his token on the board for a moment. Save. Alright. Now we can delete that one.
And our portraits at the bottom need to be updated too, huh?
Yep. Just a few minor changes. Driven, there it is, edit, save, Mavra, Wolfram. Okay, guys. Just did save. I was worried about it for a second. I'm not worried about it anymore. Okay, the older streams are here, I believe, just a bit hidden. It's been 10 years since you last heard all of our voices. It has been a while. I can't argue with that. right. So, let's get into this. Last we left off, you all had, after a much needed rest, come to the interior of the inn main bar area where you found a figure sitting amongst the large barrel-like fixture in the middle of the bar. As you all kind of groggily come out, he looks down upon you and just says, "Good morning, Morkala. I hope you slept well. My name's Jack. It's very nice to meet you."
It's also very nice to meet you, Jack. Thank you for telling us your name. And I take like a small bow, observing all proper etiquette.
His mask has a sly smile stitched into it that doesn't betray his full facial features towards how you could judge him, but he keeps his eye on you and kind of nods. You've all been quite busy, haven't you? Turning over stones best left unturned. I'm just curious. What drives people like you? Is it fame? Is it justice? Or is it just simply the thrill of it all?
I'm just like slowly walking towards Wolfrin. So, friend of yours, or is he as ominous as he looks?
Hmm. You. Why reveal yourself to us in this manner? What do you want?
Well, you've piqued the interest of figures far beyond your normal reckoning, and honestly, I'm not sure it's the kind of spotlight that you really want.
You
My
haven't
figures-
answered my question. Why reveal yourself to us?
Father Galley. Such a tragic end, don't you think? And yet, here you all are, poking around in matters that are, how shall I put it, slightly above your pay grade. Makes one wonder what you hope to find, or what you think you might be able to handle.
Is that a way I should imply that you know and may have had a hand in what happened to the father?
May have had a hand in what happened to the father. Let me put it this way. The Brotherhood does not and will not relent, as you all have seen. Yet here you are, relentless in your own right. Admirable or foolish, I've yet to decide. What is it that you all hope to achieve, I wonder?
What's it matter to one such as you?
Does it matter to me? Well, you see, I've been watching you for some time now. Not just you, that is, but up-and-coming adventurers, people shaking bushes that they shouldn't, chasing down things that really should stay hidden. And you all have quite a knack for finding trouble, whether it's cursed blades, hunting down and killing innocents due to that curse, getting in turmoil with the Iron Brand, destroying creatures you shouldn't be even messing with. But
So,
either
is the
way,
Crying Eye yours?
scrying eye. No, I'm sorry, love. It's just the person who did have it no longer has it. Actually, no longer has a tongue either.
What about the wyverns? Is that your doing as well?
No, we don't have need to steal wyverns. Wait, do you... You all don't know who we are, do you?
Well, I for the least do not.
We've
Oh.
our educated guesses.
As I said, the Brotherhood does not relent, and by Brotherhood I mean the Harlequins. Our organization stretches far and wide, and quite honestly, you're becoming a thorn in our sides. That could change easily. I mean, we've been looking for an excuse to off Father Galley for quite a while now. And you all stumbling upon his secret dungeon. Well, less his and more the brand's, but there is a very fragile balance within the shadows here, not only in the Empire, but across Nadira. And you all have no respect for this balance whatsoever.
If you'd be so kind to enlighten me, maybe I would understand this balance a bit more. What is this balance that you're talking about?
Let's speak plainly, shall we? And he kind of looks over at you, Victor. You're out of your depth. The waters you have been treading in are far more treacherous than you realize. But here's the interesting part. No matter what I've been told to do, no matter what I should do, I'm not here to stop you. Not yet. I'm just here to understand why. Why do you all seem to stumble headlong into every one of these adventures, I guess you would call them, that you do?
Circumstance
Theory?
dictates we do what we must. Is that
Series of
truly so hard to
accidents?
understand?
No, Mabra has it right. I ask myself that sometimes.
Well, maybe we can all sit down and talk about it and come to terms with why we do just come into random situations like this. It seems that that's what you want, isn't it, Jack?
Well, I'm more here to understand why in general, but it seems to me that you all hold some pieces of a puzzle that you might not fully understand, and I'm intrigued. Share your thoughts with me. Maybe I'll share some of mine. Fair is fair, right? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Because
Well, I can't
really, you're just more entertaining than anything right now, and I really favor my entertainment. It's few and far between.
Well, first it was the goblins, and then it was the caravan, and then it was Ileana and our other friends, and that happened on the caravan, and then the Iron Brand killed my whole family, and then they took our friend, and then I got bewitched by a blade, and then all the accidents happened, and now we're here trying to unbewitch me from the blade, and the blade is unbewitched from me, and then it took over my sister, and now she's gone, and we don't know what happened.
That is a lot of information I did not know. But wow, that's... Huh. I'm just gonna take a moment to think about what she just said, trying to put together what she was saying.
Mysteries beget more mysteries. Solving one problem causes another.
And I, for one, am a natural-born resident of Elmakath. I've been witnessing all of the mishaps happening around the city. The city's been getting more dangerous. My family lives here. I'm not just going to stand aside while things are there threatening my family. It's my duty to help the city if I can. What about you, Jack? I think we've shared a little bit.
What is it about me that you really want to know?
Don't you think we'd like to start off with, I don't know, just anything? It's kind of just a masked man sitting on top of a barrel after we wake up in the morning, clearly with no intent to hurt us, since you have been sitting there a while.
Maybe you sit this one out since he's been following us for the longer time.
Sorry,
Not
my natural
you.
curiosity.
Understood, but I think we have more pertinent questions since it's a kind of artel he's been on.
I'm gonna look at her and just like nod and stay silent.
Wow, she really put you in your place, didn't she?
I'm here with them. I have to obey their rules.
Wolfriend, I think you have best question.
Yeah, Wolfrin. What is the question?
You come in here, reveal yourself, far outnumbered, with no apparent fear. Why is that? After slaughtering a church and its congregation, no less, you followed us. You know what we're about.
Hmm. Do you believe in fate, Morkala? Or do you see yourselves as masters of your own destiny? Are you that sort? The answer matters more than you think. Especially at this current crossroads that you're about to find yourselves at.
Well, with all that I've seen, I think I am called and guided by the Night Mother.
I would rather not be guided by anything. I tend to think that I choose my own path, whether it's for good or ill.
Kind of scans over you all. The way I see it is the tapestry that has been woven is very vast and much more complex than that. But you've all managed to become rather interesting threads within. I'm keen to see how you'll weave into the broader pattern. Will you strengthen the weave, or will you unravel it? Because I see potential in you. Potential for great disruption. The question is, to whose benefit? Ours? Yours? The myriad unseen players in this grand game that we call life? But your actions do have consequences. A simple truth, yet seems so often ignored. Your actions have caused ripples that have cast effects far and wide. The question is, what happens when the waves start coming back towards you? There's a fine line between courage and foolishness, and from my vantage point way up here, the line is blurring with every step that you're all taking. Tell me, are you all brave, or are you merely oblivious?
Both in equal measure, methinks.
Because I watched a group of strong-headed people walk straight into a slaughterhouse at the Temple of the Lawbearer without a second thought, filled with rage, tearing through there, summoning creatures far beyond the planes that we're used to.
Well, that wasn't our fault technically. It was kind of a trap type thing. So it wasn't our intention to summon that. What was it? What was it again? This winged entity, whatever. But you could have given us a heads up that you were already cleaning up the place. I mean, you know, since you like us and all.
I'll admit, not our finest moment. But we
This
ford
answers-
these waters best we can. Learn what we can. Proceed how we think is best. It's simple, really.
There's an art to balancing on a knife's edge. Too much caution, you never advance. Too much boldness, you might just fall and cut yourself. From what I've seen from you, you will barely manage to not cut yourselves fatally. From the information I have, that happens quite often. So I sit here thinking, what needs to change? Because you're meddling in affairs that stretch far beyond the cobblestone streets and dim taverns that you're accustomed to. The Iron Brand, the Harlequin Brotherhood, hell, the Vox Tacit even. All of these organizations working, intermingling, trying to one-up each other, and you're all finding yourselves in the middle of a tug of war that maybe, just maybe, you should pick a side in.
And whose side should that be?
Well, that'll be up to you. Honestly, I feel like it'll be fun either way.
Wait a minute. Do you know the person that, made the guild hall explode?
Do I know the person who exploded the guild hall? I do. Not, not my favorite co-worker, but you know, you can't always like the people you work with.
And we were there. We nearly died. That was, would you call it collateral? Perhaps?
Nearly died, though. Just nearly. Like I said, balancing on the edge of a blade. Time and time again, you all come back.
I mean, that sounds like you intended to hurt us, and I already
Huh.
chose a side by proxy.
The Brotherhood has a very vast network. And I'll go into a little bit more detail here, but I can't divulge all of our secrets. The man who blew up the tavern was not part of the same arm of the Brotherhood that I am. You see, I am the Jack of clubs. I am somebody sent to make sure people be quiet. Or to pull them into the fold. Whatever I need to do to make things more fun for me and my dear, dear king. Now, the man who blew up the tavern, he works for the Diamonds, and quite honestly, I thought it was very poor taste what he did, but we don't tend to try to meddle in each other's affairs because things get messy. We have a separation of powers for a reason. And the guild hall wasn't very important for our part of the organization, so there was no real reason to put a stop to the actions being performed.
I'm gonna kind of nudge Wilfriend. Is he implying there's 4 different houses to match the suits of cards?
Indeed.
Hmm.
Each claiming dominion over their own.
I don't understand. the
Enterprises.
purpose.
You don't want, dearest Mavra?
I don't understand the purpose of destroying the old guild hall. All the guild does is help people find their lost puppies and take caravans and protect people. That
Well-
seems silly.
Despite your naivety, the guild is full of, well, let's just call it how it is, people who aren't there for the most noble of reasons. They have their own shadows, and though they tend to try to hide them, they don't always do it so well. But, as I said, I did not personally agree with blowing up the guild hall, but my hands were tied. I could not put a stop to someone else's plans, as it would have caused inner turmoil within the Brotherhood.
So, are you supposed to recruit us to your Brotherhood, or
Well, I guess not necessarily. It's just I'm not here to harm you. Well, hopefully not, as long as you don't try to harm me, but I don't plan on harming you, not today at the very least. Consider this more of a friendly visit, a possible warning. The path that you're on leads to places darker than you have delved thus far. And I'm more... Go ahead.
One question before you continue.
By all means.
Is the Brotherhood in rivalry with the Iron Brand?
Well, I guess you could call it rivalry, though we far outnumber, or at least we did. But the Iron Brand has been growing as of late, getting more brazen with their recruitments and with their activities, as I'm sure you're all very much aware. Whether it's a false Hydra lying beneath the temple of the Lawbearer, or whether it's missing wyverns from the stables. But really, they're not as organized as what we are. And we've put up with them for a while, letting them go about their business because it didn't really affect us too much. In fact, some of it even brought coin our way. However, now that waves are being made, things are coming back to our doorstep that we do not want. And so, we start at the bottom and start making our way to the top. And that is why Father Galley had to go, as well as his makeshift congregation that has been poisoned. Both mind and body, believe me that.
So, do you have common goals with the Iron Brand? Or are you just blind eye to them?
No, we have goals, but most of our goals revolve around money and prestige. I mean, we have much deeper goals, but none that you should worry yourselves on.
Forgive me, Mr. Jack. I just want to know.
Sorry, no, just Jack. Mr. Jack was my father.
Jack, then. I have a deep-seated hatred for the Iron Brand. And anyone who allies themselves with the Iron Brand or has common goals with the Iron Brand, I hate. I am just trying to make sure that I am not supposed to hate you.
Well, I hope you don't hate me, but also, don't mistake my grinning appearance for a lack of seriousness. I'm here because you've all caught the eye of the Brotherhood. This can be a good thing for you all, or it can be a bad thing. For your sake, I hope it's the former. The Brotherhood has far-reaching stakes in almost everything that goes on here in Nadira. And so, if cooperative, there's a very good chance we could be of great help to you. And he tosses a folded piece of parchment that's tucked within some leather binding down to the bar. Right about here.
I will walk up and retrieve it.
Now, before you open that, I will give you a little bit of information about what you're going to see, because the Iron Brand is making more moves outside of your purview than you might know about. Is anyone familiar with the resistance within the Felvane Theocracy?
What of them?
Well, quite honestly, they're fighting a losing battle. And there's a few reasons for that, but mainly it's the Iron Brand operatives that are worming their way through the Theocracy and tearing through the ranks of the Resistance. And as much as your people, Wolfriend, the Veth'Arden, would claw their way both hand above tooth to get to where they should be in life, and I agree, I don't think that slavery should be an option. Because it's, I mean, honestly, it's, we should be past that as a society, but the members of the Iron Brand don't seem to think so, and are working closely hand in hand with the Theocracy's upper echelon.
Of course, assholes are gonna work band and work together.
More than anything, one set of individuals has been a thorn in our side. They just seem to know their way around.
Who's that?
Oh. If you open the folder, you can find out. I don't know their name in particular, but how are you opening up the folder?
Yep.
Okay. You see an image of a figure. Half-elven, white hair. You recognize them slightly, but there are definitely some differences. Blank eyes, an expression full of malice. But beyond a doubt, there before you is an image of Zephyrion.
Sweet mother.
What is it?
What have they done to him?
To him? To him who? And Riven's gonna try to peek over Mother's shoulder.
It's Zephyrion.
Zephyrion? Why does he have that very weird look?
Your guess is as good as mine, but he is a little bit difficult to deal with. At least for our lower operatives. But you all seem very familiar with him. I wonder, have you met this man before?
What? He was our original leader, Von Morcola. He was the friend that was taken by the Iron Brand.
I see. Well, that's rather unfortunate.
And why would you want to know the information? As Riven just glares at Jack.
Why would I want to know that information? Well,
Wow.
it was more of a curiosity at the recognition as you all looked on at the image there. But regardless, this man is getting in the way of the Brotherhood's activities, and quite honestly, seems to be a wall blocking off what could be the greater good for the theocracy. Whether he has his... Will you have a chance to save him? Well, that is up to you. You could work hand in hand with the Brotherhood, and I could give you fairly good reign over your decisions out there. And perhaps maybe you could bring him to your side. But the Brotherhood wants him dead. And so, if nothing is done, we'll continue to go at him as we have. Perhaps he will win out in the end, but our numbers far surpass the men that he's been traveling with.
So you're saying the entire Brotherhood wants Zephyrion dead? Not just the clubs or the diamonds, the entire Brotherhood.
Well, when it's an order come down on high, the rest of us don't really have a choice but to, you know, kind of just submit to what they've said.
Those take us all.
But then how can you guarantee us that Zephyrion won't come to harm? If you can't even control... Exactly, so why should we even work with you?
Because if you don't work with us, he'll definitely come to harm. And I want to say that it is not my jurisdiction over there directly, as of right now, but that could change. Right now, it is being led by, well, the Hearts, but their queen is very shrewd and unforgiving, I will say. But when Ace sends down an order, we listen. There's nothing else to talk about at that point. But perhaps, if given the opportunity to pull this, well, from what been told, they call him the Dark Star. If he could come into the fold with us and turn on the theocracy and the Iron Brand, I don't see how that is anything but favorable.
He knows if Zephyron's being controlled, he would never do this.
Regardless of whether it is some sort of control, or whether he is not the man that you all remember him as, it needs to be dealt with.
Damn it, Zephyrion, what have you done?
It's not his fault. Remember that evil man that controlled him before?
I know, it's just... So... Just don't trust him. And Riven looks at Jack when he says this.
I will say this, Morkala. I've seen the likes of you, many, in the past like you, come and go, filled with a purpose, burning with righteous indignation. It's always fascinating to see how long that fire will last before it's snuffed out. And at this point, looking at how you all are reacting to the picture that you are looking at now, how long do you think your fire will last?
At least another 75 years, Mother given me that time.
And I've seen done worse. Fire still burning, all right.
I won't stop fighting. Not until I can't.
You all seem really gloomy for some reason. I don't get it.
Well, let's say one of your friends just got kidnapped or is being possessed to do some horrible things, and some very, very bad people want him dead.
Well, you see, maybe I'd understand this if you told me about it, I don't know, yesterday when I asked, but that's besides the point.
Then you don't punch him. Then you're better than this. As he just talks to himself.
Look. We're not so different, you all and I.
Oh god.
We both seek to make our mark upon this world, to carve our names in the annals of history. Why not... Well, what else do you think you've been doing, Malvra? You guys find yourselves at every crossroad with the Iron Brand and every other big bad, and from what I hear, possibly have control of the Harbinger, which, whether he's real or not, he's really starting to look the part. He looks down at Uzmir.
Bluesmere.
Lose.
I don't know.
Why not work together?
Interjection. Righteous indignation and the rest implies intent.
And what are you getting at here, Malvra?
I feel the only person that fits that description of purpose would be Wolfriend. Possibly Victor, but we just met.
There is chaos happening right now due to the spinning and unraveling of the underworld here on Nadira. But there can be harmony in that chaos, a pattern within all this disorder. The Iron Brand understands this, that's why they are reaching for more power. The Brotherhood understands this as well, and that is why we are trying to stamp them out. But with us, you could learn to play the strings of chaos itself. Imagine the songs we could create within the darkness that is surrounding this great, great continent.
Did I hear correctly that you're trying to stomp out the Iron Brand?
Yes, we went over that at the beginning.
I'm done.
Wait, Malrak, let's think about
What?
this.
What? You don't have to join me.
You've all tasted power. The thrill of what you've accomplished so far, the sadness that comes along with that power. It can be quite intoxicating. But there's so much more to be had, should you choose to align yourselves with those who truly understand your nature and what you need to thrive. I understand some of you do belong to other organizations, but those organizations haven't been... Let's just say it's not as though they are or have been against working with us in the past. Take the Ebon Fang. We've worked with them on many occasions. Yes, occasionally we've worked against them as well, and vice versa, but there's more to this world than these organizations. And if we don't start banding together, well, everything around it might just fall apart. And I want to be clear, I'm offering you a key, not just to wealth or power, but to understanding. The Brotherhood holds knowledge long buried, secrets that can unravel the planes of existence. And wouldn't you all like to know more about what you're actually delving into?
Yes.
The fall of Valthanus, over 400 years ago, that resulted in the burning of a lot of lost knowledge. But the Brotherhood was here then, and it is here now. You are all standing at the precipice of a deeper truth, one that has been veiled in shadows and silence, but with the Brotherhood, that veil is easily pierced. See the world for what it truly is. Every hero's journey needs that guiding hand, a mentor of sorts. Why not consider the Brotherhood that mentor, offering wisdom gleaned from the dark corners of this world?
Well, I'm not a hero, I'm a bounty hunter, and second of all, he looks at Mara. So you're gonna agree to his demands?
He didn't make any demands, Raven.
Well, are you joining forces with him is what I meant.
I see no downsides in alliance, and
Hold a
I will.
moment. We need time to discuss. On our
Do
own.
you?
Yes, we do.
Look, you could take whatever time you need, and I completely understand that. But keep in mind, it's a rare thing to find individuals who can truly make a difference in this world. Rarer still, those willing to step into the darkness to do so. And the Brotherhood could be your crucible, transforming potential into power. Consider us patrons of your burgeoning tale. With our support, there's no telling how far you might go or how deep you might be able to delve into the heart of this world.
How do I contact you when I finish talking? I say as I risk a glance at Wolfriend.
If you need, contact me. Just leave that card at the Lancers Guild. I assume at least one of you knows where that is. It's a small tavern on the bad side of town.
Yes, I've been
Yes, you-
there.
Very good then. Oh yeah, the last Ember's Inn. What it is. Just consider this encounter of ours a crossroads. One path leads to further entanglement with forces you barely comprehend. The other, a retreat to the mundane safety of ignorance. But there is a third choice. One that allows us to untangle things as you force your way through. So choose wisely. For once chosen, you're not going to have a chance to turn back.
Go in peace, Jack.
Well, better than going in pieces. He throws a card that has a jack of clubs on it onto the bar. Any other questions before I make my departure, Morkala?
So you're not gonna give us your real name?
I already have. My name is Jack.
I see then.
And
Alright.
I have a question if everyone else is done.
Very well.
Is the House of Clubs antagonistic against El Macath in any way?
Against El Macath? No.
The city as a whole.
If we were to have altercations with the city itself, that would leave us in ruin. This is a city of splendor. It is where much of our business is dealt with. And quite honestly, if we were to lose that business, we would fall quite quickly. So if anything, we're here to make sure the city prospers.
That's all I needed to hear.
Well, young lad Braun, you needn't worry about the Brotherhood's antics. I mean, we're already providing your family protection.
Excuse me?
Well, when you own a large trading company like that, you have to imagine there are certain things you have to do within the shadows to make sure nobody, well, let's just say, meddles in your affairs.
Grandmother, what have you done? I will make a note of that and ask for more details at a later time. Thank you for letting me know that.
Very well. If that is all, then I shall take my leave, Markala, but please, I do expect to hear from you soon. If not, then after an inordinate amount of time, I guess we'll just count ourselves enemies.
Right.
I wouldn't just count us as enemies. As it's already pretty well aware, we find ourselves in a manner of odd situations where we might not be able to reply.
Well, we'll be watching.
And then, before I go in here, I'm just gonna like look at him, bow, and then like step into the curtain.
And you, large wolf man. Cerberus turns towards him. Give your lady mistress my king's regards. As Cerberus like turns to him and kind of snarls for a minute, and Jack casts Dimension Door. Anyone counterspelling or anything?
I'm not in the room, so.
Yeah, exactly. He just entered the room.
I'm fucking jumping through it, boys.
Cool. Alright. He
Good
is
luck, soldier.
gone. You guys are seemingly alone with your friends and group.
We cannot be considering allying ourselves with the Harlequin Brotherhood like this. Or have we forgotten what they've done at the church?
We in the room, homie.
Yeah, we're at the round table.
The round table.
I will say, Wolfriend, an enemy of your enemy is sometimes your friend.
Well, friend, also keep in mind, as Jack had said, this would not be the first time that we've worked in accordance with the Harlequin Brotherhood. They have information networks that come in very handy. But we do not often find ourselves on the same side of them. This is something that has to be taken up to the top of the food chain. Regardless, no one is going to be forced to work with somebody they do not want to work with. So, speak among yourselves and figure out what you're comfortable with. But regardless, we will have to send a message to Fenris She has to be aware of the altercation we just had.
Indeed. I'd be greatly appreciative of her guidance in a time such as this.
Well, we will have Doran reach out to her. But please keep in mind, the Brotherhood has been here much longer than the Fang has. So tread lightly.
Of course. There's much to discuss.
Very much so.
I'll enter the room with the others.
You're late.
Truly, we cannot be considering this. Or have we all forgotten what had happened at the church?
Until just this moment, I wasn't aware that they were the ones who caused it. You know, seeing as how you keep begging me to trust you and you'll eventually tell me what's going on. And if you hadn't heard, apparently my grandparents are already working with them in some regards.
Of course.
That makes them even more shady. The power.
What do you mean by that?
Well, those with money usually get that coin. I'm just saying that sometimes, well, the way you get that coin is not, well, you have to do some terrible stuff to get there.
Oh yes, like you've never done something terrible in your life.
Oh yeah, a lot. That's just why I wouldn't trust myself if I didn't have my friends alongside me. Simple enough, I don't trust myself because I do those bad things. Likewise, I don't trust them because they do those bad things too.
Regardless, I'm related to them. I can at least ask them what they know about the Brotherhood. Maybe we can get some more information from them.
Information. What we are so sorely lacking right now.
My
Damn it
family
all.
runs.
Yes?
Oh, sorry, I was waiting for you to finish.
I cannot in good conscience ally myself with a group such as the Brotherhood. Yet, in that very same breath, I recognize that we are treading dark waters, and we know little and less. Besides, Sir Grimheart is... he's...
Moody and
Jealous.
emo?
Don't talk
That's-
about Zephyrion that way.
He's
He is a
been
great.
coerced. Of that I've no doubt. And
He sounds like he's a huge thorn in their side. I don't know exactly what they want from him or with him. Sounds like you guys want to do something to save him.
they want him dead.
Didn't sound like
They
it from
want-
Jack.
They
They
want him
said they
out
wanted
of
him
the
out of his way.
That is easier.
And
That
what
is
is this?
faster.
And what is the simplest way to get someone out of your way, hmm?
Kill them.
Permanently.
Is death not implied to be permanent?
Well, I'm here, am I? Not.
Excuse me?
He's got
Has
a point.
Look, I care about Zephyrion, and there is much and more at this point in time that the Harlequin Brotherhood can offer us. They stand in opposition to the Iron Brand, and that is enough for me right now. I want Zephyrion to get back safely to us, to be alive, and I will do everything that it takes to get my friend back, because he would do that for us. Firstly. Secondly, they are a network that has gone back for eons of time, eras of time. They probably have history and artifacts on Uzmir's condition, paperworks on the Harbinger itself, and that is something that we are going to be facing. That we need more information on, that is something that we are going to be facing, that we know frightfully little about.
You're right.
And even our current alliances, yours, Wolfriend, with your wolves, ours with the our I'm sorry. Common is very hard for me right now. Anyway, Morkala needs more information, and it is information that we currently do not have at our disposal.
You're right.
I hear
Big
it.
things are upon us. Of this, there's no doubt. Big things that we know frighteningly little. Only that we stand poised to be a large part of it. And should we fail to act, or prove too weak, could spell the end of all we know and hold dear.
We've already asked Baldur Kalen and the Adventurers Guild for all the information they have, and they have little in the way of resources, little in the way of favors to get us the information. And they can do nothing to help us rescue Zephyrion. Nothing.
All I know
And
is
the resistance and the theocracy besides. 'Tis true, they're fighting a losing war. And
look, I don't care about the
Still.
war. I just want my friend back. Which is why I agree with Mavra. But the problem is, I still can't shake this feeling that if we accept this offer, it'll be like putting a chain around our neck. Because if they have that much power and information, then they'll know every little detail about us. Our
They
weaknesses.
clearly already do.
They do. But if we're working with them, that just gives them another excuse to even backstab us if they feel like we're not doing our part.
Yes.
At least if we decline it, we'll be like, we'll know that they're our enemy. But if we work with them and they backstab us, then we won't be prepared for it.
They're powerful, and we number few. If they wanted us dead, we would be.
Oh, well, friend, that's where you're wrong. My father wanted me dead so many times, and yet he toyed with me over and over and over. Because those with power don't give a fuck about finishing the job. You heard him. This is a stage for him, a book he's writing. That's it.
As long as we're functional and assets, they have no reason to look further than that. Just remain useful.
Look, I trust you, Mavra. Completely. I trust you, Wolfrin. I trust you, Usmir. Victor. So,
If you trusted me after a day, I'd call you a fool.
I'm glad I'm not that much of a fool. All I'm saying is, if you agree, I'll follow you. I have a bad feeling about this, and there's something deep inside me that's screaming no. But if you think this will help us, will help our friend, will help Zephyrion, then I will follow you. Even if death
Sure.
takes me again.
Truthfully, I don't think it's a good idea. But honestly, I don't see another way with everything that we're facing. And fact of the matter is, Jack is right. We are frightfully out of our depth with the visions we've been having about the Harbinger, about the end of days.
Damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Exactly. This way we at least have access to something. And the bonus is having knowledge that they want to kill Zephyrion, so maybe before they do that, we have the chance to save him.
Indeed.
He is what's most important to me in all of this.
And still, they stand mostly opposed to the Iron Brand. So that's,
Which is
well, something.
it's the other consideration and why I was so adamant to know. Because I could not ever even consider it being part of something of the people that destroyed everything that I ever knew.
Still.
Well, I don't like it. Not one bit. However, we truly are in dire times. And dire times often call for strange bedfellows.
All right,
Damn it
then.
all.
Let's just put our thoughts out there for now. All in favor of saying yes. Let's raise our hands. And
Reluctantly, Wolfrind raises his hand.
Same
My
with
hand's
Riven.
been up.
My hand
I'm
is up.
fine with either.
Well then, there's the consensus.
I don't like the Brotherhood. Not one bit. And I do recognize that I will, one day, stand against them. However, right now, we've made farther. We've made far than enough enemies. We can't afford many more these days. Not now.
Which means we just need to get stronger, that's it.
Indeed.
Well,
And until
hopefully
then,
we can also.
the other wolves are seeking guidance from up top. I have an inkling as to what her answer will be. However,
Excuse me. There's someone at the door for you, Riven?
Oh, fuck. What do they look like?
What do you mean, what do they look like?
Well, if someone's at the door for me, it could be a guard, I'm kind of wanted.
Oh, of course. It doesn't seem like a guard. It's a fairly well-dressed man. He has white hair.
Oh, well-dressed man?
Yes.
Okay, if I die, Mavra, you can
Do you
keep
want me to come? Do you want me to come with you, Riven?
I would like that, yes.
Okay.
we'll all be behind you. Can't go in heaven. You die
Again.
again.
I'd rather-
Again?
Again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was situation
Complicated.
shortly before we came across you. It's
I feel like I'm finally understanding what you mean by out of my depths, but at this point I'm not leaving. Did we ever decide if we're gonna go see my grandparents or not? And ask them if what they know?
would be prudent to before we send in our final answer.
Hmm.
I could also see how trying to pry into their business could be seen as a threat.
Yes, the son of the trading company asking his grandparents why they're dealing with a shady organization is definitely going to be seen as a threat. I'm very sure they're going to try and kill me.
Well, if you didn't know that information,
I've also been at the academy for many years, and the last time I've really talked to them, I was a very young child.
Yes,
Would you
digging
trust a young
into-
child?
Digging into a shady organization's backdoings is definitely going to possibly be seen as a threat.
Yes, a threat
Not
to my own
necessarily
company.
not necessarily from your grandparents, but from the Harlequin Alliance.
I'm sure if he didn't want us to look into it, he wouldn't have told us the connection.
No. If anything, it could be seen as all due caution.
Maybe.
It looks
I
like
have
Riven's
nothing
already
one
left.
way or the other.
We have a visitor at the door.
Riven, like gently opens the door and tries to peek his head out.
You see a very well-dressed man. Stark, snow-white hair, a fairly handsome face, slight scar under one of his eyes. You don't recognize him. His most striking feature over everything is he is missing his... that would be his left arm. Riven, it's so good to see you, my friend. We have a lot to talk about. You and I.
Do I know you?
Oh. All too well. Are you gonna open the door and let me in now? We're gonna have to force my way in.
Could you at least tell me your name so I can mentally prepare myself? Because you see many
He
enemies.
stabs a very familiar dagger into the door.
Oh fuck. Looks him out. So
Language.
Mavra, you recognize this dagger as well as one of the vestiges of the Night Mother.
Lucian.
There you go.
Yeah.
Glad we're all on the same page now. So, are we going to keep this going outside, or are you going to let me in?
And you please not kill me. I'm already almost died already. Riven just opens the door.
Let him in.
He kind of brushes
know
himself
better.
off. You see, although he is missing his left arm, there is a what looks like mechanical replacement that has 6 aetherite stones embedded in it. Slight electricity kind of seizes over the arm as he uses it to push the door open.
Huh. Well, we have that in common, I guess.
Well, it's quite a party in here, as I can see. A lot of new faces, a lot of old ones.
Yes, very much so.
Not the man we let out of the jail cell.
Yes, indeed. You've undergone the most amount of changes, young man.
Oh, you haven't even seen the most of it.
You know what? Never mind. Well, what brings you here? Still looking for Riven's head?
Well,
As I was given to understand you were seeking.
never said I was going to take Riven's head. But regardless, a very valuable vestige of the Night Mother is no longer with us.
Well, kind of. It's in spirit. It's with us in spirit, you know. It was used for a very noble cause.
Very noble
Necessary focus
cause.
for a ritual of unbinding.
Yes, that. And it saved my friend. Well, my friend's sister, but yeah.
Indeed it did.
These weapons, you goddamn oaf, are meant to protect against what the Harbinger brings, which, by the way, has awakened.
Yes, he has indeed been awakened, which wasn't my fault this time.
Look. I have thanks to give for freeing both Alara and I and Liana from a fate that we would not have favored, and I appreciate that. But you can't just go breaking artifacts from our goddess in rituals without letting the proper people know. Maybe we could have gotten you a different artifact or something else to help. But no, we just went in and destroyed. Sorry, I was told not to yell at you.
By who?
You can, though.
Uzmir, please no.
Oh no, by all means.
Wolfrand.
Just tell them the Harbinger gave you permission.
The Harbinger does not get to make those decisions. As much as you may be part of the Night Mother, you are not her voice.
Look, it was a very time-restrained, constrained type of thing. It was an emergency, you see, so there's not many options, so it was the only weapon powerful enough for this ritual, so... And plus, the weapon wouldn't have broken like that, right? Like, it's probably still out there somewhere.
And who has it?
Oh, I have no clue.
Exactly.
But I didn't break it, so that's the good news.
Before you all got your hands on it, it was with the Iron Brand. Whose hands has it fallen into now? You all had proven yourselves to be a favorable company, and I was really hoping that would remain true.
I mean, it's still true. We did. I mean, you don't have to have this ruin what we have going on.
And what do you have going on, Riven?
Well, that we saved you, and then you helped us. It's a nice little give and take type of relationship.
I promised Alara that I would not kill any of you. Riven, you do not make it easy for me to keep that promise. But, against my better judgment, I will listen to the young girl. Seems to like your group, and that is understandable. We are going to be leaving El Macath here soon, in aims of heading towards the theocracy.
I doubt you could tell us a bit more about what you're planning on doing.
The Night Shadow Bow, the final vestige of the Night Mother, has made its appearance north of the Cragspire Peaks. We will be going after it. If we have it as well as the daggers, hopefully, the combined power will lead us to whoever holds the halberd now.
Well, that's some good thinking.
Well, that sounds like a decent enough plan. So why come here? Simply to berate us for losing the halberd?
No, berate me, Wolfram, berate me. You have no problem with this.
I don't wish to berate you. Also, who are you? When did you guys get a Lupin in your group?
Oh, that's Wolfram.
It's, Hi.
He turned into a dog.
Yep. Or I was always one, or something.
Or
that
something.
my cue to
Or
introduce myself?
merely changed. I'm still sorting through it. Let's get back to it later.
Of course. And who is this precocious young lad who wishes to introduce himself?
Victor, the one that's very much lost in this entire conversation. What is this about daggers and spears and a bow? Never mind, I'll just keep listening. I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Actually, I must be taking my leave, but for the reason I did come here, Riven, I figured I would give you fair warning. Your father, Orion, is here in El Macath.
Wait,
He arrived yesterday.
Huh?
my father is here.
Congratulations.
Not cause for celebration.
Not cause for
my bad.
celebration at all.
What's that bastard doing here? I know he was alive, you told me, but
Right, and I told you I would tell you more about him. Sadly, I must be taking my leave, and so the more that I am going to tell you now is that he is in El Macath. He arrived yesterday. And from the information that I have received, he knows you're here too. So I'm sure he's searching for you. I'd keep your head down if you could.
You mean more than usual?
Alara would be sad if any of you died. So, please don't. Anyway, we have a long journey to the Theocracy. You all should find yourselves there, maybe we'll cross paths again. Riven, don't fuck any more artifacts up. Please, and thank you.
Such a long journey. We should ride the Eagles.
Wait, so let me get this straight. Not only have you guys been entangled in the massacre of the temple, you found yourself somehow entwined with this secret organization known as the Brotherhood, to then find out that your prior leader of you guys' group is, I don't know, sometime antagonistic to them. Then I find out that you guys have some kind of relation to, I can only assume is the Night Mother, from the descriptions of what you guys are talking about. Like, what is going on?
That's not even the half of it, Victor.
I just want to
We-
keep the city safe.
Truly are in a precocious position in the crossroads of fate.
I'm destined to bring chaos and destruction.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
excuse
clap
me, back
Riven
that
on
up,
the.
what? And I'm gonna take a second. You can't mean you're the Harbinger. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. Totally. I'm gonna clap Riven on the shoulder. Well, at least Lucian doesn't want to kill you.
What would be so ridiculous about that?
No, he very much does. He's just refraining from doing so. Let's not get it twisted here.
I'm
Oh my
going
God.
to glare at Wolfriend over his head. I was trying to have a silver lining.
I'll say again, what could be so ridiculous about that?
You're serious?
Uzmir, it's some secret thing. Like, not everybody needs to know things, especially some child thing.
Excuse me, I'm not a child. Oh wait, never mind. You're
You're-
Elvin. No, don't
How
say it. I
old
don't
are
need to
you?
hear it. Almost 20. But besides the point,
You're...
don't say it, please. I don't need to hear you say it for the 20th time in the last few hours.
No,
There's a lot for me to process at the moment. I'm trying to figure out what
We
exactly is going
tried
on.
to warn you.
Indeed, you did.
I,
I'm gonna send a messenger to my grandparents.
as I take a step towards Victor at this point, my form is definitely going to start to change.
Uh,
Tokens here.
what the?
As I said, I think the only thing ridiculous here is that you keep speaking on things that you know nothing about and think that you know it all. So just sit back a little bit and take as much in as you can before you speak.
I'm kind of gonna like look at him. You know, I heard a lot of stories of you. Sorry if it's hard for me to come to leaps of logic. Everything that I've had over the course of my life has made sense, and you guys have kind of flipped everything over the course of 24 hours. Sorry if it
Like I
takes me a
said,
little bit to adjust.
just sit back and listen. Riven, would you join me, please? Riven's like, nah,
Right.
fuck you.
Normally
Pretty
this
much.
is Riven's thing, but I need a drink.
Mavra, what's up with the dick measuring contest?
What do you mean?
I mean, Uzmir just went off on that Victor kid.
You know we're almost the same age, right?
What?
Well, I thought we were the same age. That was mentioned last time.
I...
We have fucking years old.
No,
Never mind.
Are you talking about you and Uzmir, or you and the elf? The half-elf
Oh, the
girl?
elf.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm over here.
Yeah, she's 20 years old.
Yeah, so we're similar in age. That's why I said, like, we're almost similar in age.
Right.
I think part of it is that he doesn't listen, and the other part of it is the fact that apparently you can't have a private conversation around here.
Well,
Ah, sorry, where'd you want me to go?
the room
gonna kinda,
is
like-
full of people.
I didn't mean private as in no one around, I meant private as in he tells you
Well,
not a woman's peace.
I have this strange inkling that Victor boy was bullied a lot in school.
That's a lie. I'm actually quite liked. Thank you very much.
Good.
To your face. He didn't fall out of enough trees as a child, I swear.
Boyfriend, are you gonna be here a while?
Sort of shrugs.
I'm trying to see if I need to send a messenger to.
Riven is running away from
Yep.
Uzmir.
Yep.
Uzmir, can we talk? Riven, hell no.
Hell nah.
But I'm gonna send over to my grandparents to see if we can get a meeting with them. Any information's better than no information. Unless it's not what you want anymore. He's really thinking about it.
Damn, Wolf went deep in thought.
You guys need to cut Wolfram some slack. Currently, he is streaming from the top of Mount Everest. It was one of his goals to climb up there, like, in one full go, but he didn't want to miss D&D, so he brought his computer with him so he could still stream it.
You know what's wild?
That's what's
That
up.
Skeletor is our DM.
It's not Skeletor.
That's fucking
That's
Skeletor.
Skeletor.
That's 1,000% Skeletor.
Alright, I will just go and change my art.
You are only allowed to DM in the voice of Skeletor when that picture is there.
The thing is I do a perfect
God.
Skeletor, and
I demand this.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna change the art.
Come on, one time.
Nope.
Yeah.
Come on, do it for the
Skeletor.
vine. Do it for the vine.
Sin, you've heard my Skeletor already.
I know. That's why I'm saying you should do it.
Do it for the vine.
My generic username says that's Skeletor.
Look, you can't just say you do a perfect Skeletor and then not show it off.
No.
I'm just saying, chat's saying Skeletor.
Alright. I am Skeletor! I'll get you, He-Man! Alright,
I love
roll
it.
for initiative. There's a dragon now. Fuck all of you!
If I must. Fuck!
Yeah, that poor Mike. Alright, now I'll change my art.
It is really good art though.
Too late.
It is. It's still pass art.
I just think it's funny that the purple instantly makes it Skeletor.
Skeletor. It's just the purple, honestly.
Dye it pink. They won't call you Skeletor after that. They'll call you gay
Skeletor,
Skeletor.
Whoa, whoa. Keep in mind, we got terms and conditions here.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. They'll call you the Skeletor that likes pink.
There you go.
Skeletina.
Skeletina.
Anyways, there was apparently a question directed at me that I did not realize was directed at me, and I don't remember what that question was.
How long we were gonna be here?
Here in El Macath, or
In the tavern. I was going to send. I was going to send over to my grandparents to see if we can have a meeting.
well, I suppose all that needs to get done today is have this meeting sooner rather than later and give the Brotherhood our answer before they, proceed.
Hmm.
So, we're
And I'll
here
head over
as
there.
long as we need to be.
That's all I needed to know. I'll head over there and ask for a meeting.
Indeed.
I'm sure it'll be rather quick. And then I'll start heading towards the door.
Okay. You're heading over to your grandparents?
Yep.
10-4.
Alright, before Victor does that though, Uzmir asked Riven something, right?
I just asked you to come in here.
Okay, Riven's like,
Is your father gonna give us problems?
yes.
And if we do run into him, what do you suggest we do?
I suggest we kill him.
that may be a problem with everybody else if we don't communicate that.
It's not just that he's not even supposed to be alive. I killed him with my own hands. I even made sure that his body was no longer a body.
Well, he is back and looking for you. And if we run into him, it's a very high chance that we have to defend ourselves. And I think we should probably talk to the group about that.
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought I was getting past this, but I feel a bit scared. Never thought I'd say that, but
Well, hold it together. You never know when he will appear, and we can't exactly fight him at half a head.
yeah, you're right. I need to get it together.
I agree.
Just know that if he attempts to hurt you, Wolfred, Mavra, he can hurt Victor. It's fine. But
We agree again.
yes. But if he hurts any one of you, I won't hesitate. I'll kill him again if need be. Just need to do it. Just will need to apply it rather than just think about it. Can't you do the whole like Night Mother thing to figure out where he is at?
We can try. Go start letting the others know that if we run across him, it's most likely going to be some pretty large problems, and I'll do what I can.
All right, and Uzmir,
Yeah,
thank you.
you're welcome, Riven.
Alrighty. Okay, so Riven emerges from the room. What is everyone else doing during this time?
Drinking.
Drinking. What are you drinking?
Something liquid pressured.
I assumed that.
Stand.
Sand.
Sand.
Technically a liquid. All right. So, some of you are drinking. One of you is left to go meet with people. What is the plan? Is this where you all pick up and leave without Victor?
I'm going to be using
No.
my divine revelations.
Alrighty.
I'm just gonna check in with Doran right quick. Oh. Doran, have you contacted Fenrir yet?
Yeah, I have.
What'd she say?
Well, she is wanting us to relay a message to this Jack fellow that she requests a meeting with their king of clubs whoever that may be. Well, she wanted a meeting with Ace, but she said she would settle for the King of Clubs. And she wants them to go to the up north, the Ebon Keep.
An invitation to the keep?
Right.
She didn't say what for, did she?
No. But just to make sure to get that message across, and then she requested for the Black Wolves to return as well.
Myself included in that.
No, not yourself included. She says that you are still trying to perform your duties. She said you're welcome to come, but as of right now, your membership to the Black Wolves is on hiatus.
That's... not right sure how to feel about that.
Oh. If you all wish to travel with us, we can go to the Ebon Keep and you can talk to Fenris yourself. At least that's what she said when she figured you would be quite angry at the thought of it.
When will you all be leaving then?
The plan is to leave at week's end.
We have until then to wrap things up here, I guess. If we're to well, we've several objectives. Some here in Elmacath and others in the Theocracy. If we're to head there anyways, it would be prudent to travel together, I think. But, that's to be discussed with the others.
Well, we're planning to leave here on Saturday. That'll be the 4th of Avern.
Today is...
It is currently Tuesday, the... Yeah, it is the 30th of Decadent.
Right.
So you have 4 days before they leave.
We'll, figure things out by then, I'm sure.
Yes, let us hope so.
Yes. No guidance on what to do with the Brotherhood? Other than, well, pass the message along.
Well, it's really going to be up to you. Obviously, Fenris is interested in what they have to say, and so it might be maybe she's doing this to make sure that you don't have to get involved if you don't want to. Separating you from the wolves, that is. But if she's willing to work with them, then there's no reason you all couldn't. His offer was pretty nice altogether.
A sight better than murdering us all where we sleep. Which I recognize he very well could have done.
Right.
Hells. Well, we've business to conclude here, information to gather, our own answer along with a message to deliver.
Yes. We'll be around the next few days, but we will be gathering equipment and supplies, probably a wagon as well.
Of course. Still. Hiatus from the wolves. That's...
Oh, you got kicked out, Wolfriend?
Not... No. No, not exactly. I've just been... busy with other things. As of late.
Mavra, Wolfriend got kicked out from the wolves.
No, that's sad. Does that mean we have to leave the boys' rest?
No,
Seems
no.
so. He made us get kicked out. Such a shame.
Just... Oh, God damn it all.
Oh, and I just made such great friends.
And I thought I was the selfish one, Wolfriend. Tisk tisk. Riven's just smile just makes it like he goes back to his like a more deeper frown like anyway, just wanted you to know that well, you too, that I talked to Uzmir and we may need to be a bit careful about my father.
What do you mean?
Your father?
Yeah, as in if we see him, we go for the kill.
He's here then, in Elmacath?
That's what Lucian said, yes.
Oh right, I was present for that conversation, wasn't
Yep.
Yep.
Right there.
I? Oops. Yes, of course. Still, it would be best to wrap up our business in Elmacath sooner rather than later.
Am I to deliver Jack our answer then?
Well, we've
Agreed.
a meeting to attend to soon, if
About this time
the
that
little one follows through. And
we
then-
will go ahead and finish that.
We have a message, or a meeting, that the little one is to set up for us, information to gather, and then we are to give our answer, and an additional message. From there, we can discuss it later.
Alright.
So, real quick, we will do Uzmir's Divine Revelation. Uzmir, as you reach out to the Night Mother, seeking her guidance about Orion Crestfall, shadows around you seem to deepen, the air grows cold, and heavy silence envelops the room around you. A vision begins to unfold within your mind. Your vision opens to a dimly lit forge where a figure hammers away at a spear. Not just any normal weapon, one that carries this dark aura. Suddenly the spear snaps in half, the break clean and irreparable. A figure trying to mend it, but the pieces repelling each other, refusing to become whole again. The scene shifts, and you find yourself following the shadowy figure through the streets of Elmacath, moving with a purpose, yet seeming to be constantly looking over their shoulder as if running from something or someone. Despite their efforts to blend in, a distinct ominous aura marks its presence. Your vision takes you then to a dark room where a mirror stands tall. A shadowy figure from before stands before it, and as it reaches out, the mirror cracks, the reflection warping. Through the fractured glass, multiple reflections of the figure stare back, each one more twisted than the last. Suddenly, the pieces of the broken spear levitate, suspended by a thin red thread that weaves around them. binding them not together but in a chaotic and tangled dance as it extends beyond your vision. Finally, you see this figure standing atop a hill, looking down at the sprawling city of Elmakath, holding an intact spear, but it's not a light weapon. It's seemingly a burden on this figure. As they turn, their facial features blur, making it impossible to discern who this figure is, if it's Orion Crestfall or someone else entirely. The vision fades. You're left with this sense of foreboding. The past is not what it seems. This weapon, similar to Riven's, a strange symbol carried throughout this vision. And a figure who should be long gone from the world, back where they should not be. Then your vision comes back to you.
Well then.
I'm gonna go ahead and head out to everybody else and start to fill them in on the vision.
The vision.
The vision.
Okay. Victor, you find yourself wandering through the streets of Elmakath, and after quite a ways of walk, you find yourself to your grandmother's townhouse. Do you knock or you just walk in?
I haven't been here in a while, so I'm going to knock.
Okay. As you do, the door shifts open from the pressure of your knock.
The door opens to the pressure of my knock, you said?
Yep. You see a dark hallway, no lanterns lit, no aether stones giving off any light.
Based off of the personality of like my grandparents, is this something normal? Like, do they normally have their house unlocked?
No. They're
So, okay.
very wealthy. This is out of the ordinary.
And do we normally have like guards or anything around the house or anything?
No, you guys live in the Cloud Top district, so it's
Fairly got it. All
yeah,
right.
it's normally fairly safe, but regardless, it's a very large city. It's not common for people to leave their doors unlocked, let alone open.
I'm gonna call out for my grandmother. Grandmother, are you there?
You hear a slight creaking down the hallway and through an entrance to the left that you can't see into the room, but you know is the living room area.
I'm trying to remember what potions I prepared. Give me a second, let me look. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
You've had a long rest, so during that long rest you could have made new ones.
Yeah, I normally have this like same 3 that I have prepared. I'm just trying to remember which ones I do. Because I know one of them is my stealth one. I just can't remember which one it was. Let me look back in the DMs. God, so many messages. Do. Just give me a minute, sorry. Where is the list at? There it is. Oh yeah, it's Elixir of Shadows I normally have ready. So yeah, I'm gonna drink the elixir that I normally have ready on me, the Elixir of Shadows.
Okay.
So I have the advantage and stealth, and I'm going to start walking up towards the noise I heard.
Okay. Go ahead and roll stealth.
Oh, I'm very much nervous, I guess.
Okay. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, as you're going through, the amount that you are able to hide your presence seems comfortable for you, but something still seems off.
As I'm walking in, I want to look around to see if there's any kinds of like signs of burglary or anything, or like if anything's off with the house.
Okay. Roll a either perception or investigation. Either one. Alright, investigation. With a 20, something definitely seems off. There are pictures that are on the floor that are normally hanging in the hallway.
Is there any kind of struggle or signs of struggle or anything?
Not as much as what might be expected. There was definitely like people like definitely came in and started like throwing shit on the ground and stuff, but you don't see any signs of blood or anything like that.
As I'm walking through, what time is it during the day? Is it a time that my grandparents would normally be in the house?
Right now it is around 10, 11 in the morning. This is around a time where your grandparents would probably be working.
So they wouldn't be here.
No, I mean, occasionally one of them might be home at this time, but your grandparents stay pretty busy.
Wait, so why did I come here and not the
Because you said you were going to your grandmother's house, not your store.
Oh, I did? My god. At this point, I'm gonna start to back up as I realize, like, they're probably not here.
As you start backing up, you hear that slight creaking from the living room area again.
Yeah, I'm still gonna back out.
Okay.
And have I left the building yet?
Yeah, you get to the front door. And are you shutting the door?
No, I don't want to make more noise.
Okay, so as you kind of like instinctively turn to look, you see now a figure standing at the end of the hall, kind of crouching.
Do I recognize it?
Do you have dark vision?
No.
They're pretty hard to make out from the distance. But
Am I able to use a spell to give myself dark vision? Is there enough time to do so, or no?
Yeah, you can.
Then I will use the second level spell to give myself dark vision.
Okay.
And then how many points is that? I'm trying to remember. Second level is 3 points.
Yes, I believe so.
It is, I just checked. Alright, so I'm at 9 now. Got it. And I have dark vision now. So what do I see?
If you direct your attention to this screen in front of you, see this figure crouching at the end of the hallway, in this pose and everything, like in this same stance.
Let's see. Oh, great. Do I recognize it like having some kind of relation to the Brotherhood since I just saw Jack?
It very similar to Jack's appearance, though a little bit more raggedy. They're just kind of sitting there, head in their hand, staring at you.
As I'm looking at it, does it seem like it wants to do me any harm?
It's not chasing after you.
I'm gonna stop there for a moment, still poised to like sprint out, but like looking at them, and then I'm gonna pose a question. Are you part of the House of Spades? Was it?
Clubs.
Clubs. My bad.
It kind of tilts its head a little bit, almost like when a dog is like a little bit confused, as the like arms on its hat, little pom poms kind of all shift to the side, and then one hand comes up with a like crooked finger, almost beckoning you to come closer.
Huh. I'm gonna look at it, and I'm going to pose a question. I'll come with you, since I've been told you guys are protecting my family, if you can tell me if my grandparents are alright.
It nods.
Stay where I can see you, very much in front of me, and I'll come with. And I'll start to like walk very cautiously.
Just sitting there. Sly smile carved across its mask.
I'm gonna stay a fair distance after you.
Begins walking into the living room.
Do I hear it walking like deep into the living room, or is it just like around the corner?
There's a slight jingling
Uh-huh.
as it walks. As it turns the corner, you hear it walk a little bit of a distance, and as you are able to see through there, you see in the living room 3 dead bodies. The room is pretty tore up. As
Do I recognize any of the dead bodies?
how close are you willing to get?
How big's the living room?
It's about 30 feet by 40 feet.
Am I unable to see from that distance?
I mean, they're across the room and laying on the ground in pools of blood. But the figure, as you come in and see this, like, throws its arms to the side, like motioning towards them, and then just begins clapping.
Give me one moment. And you said I can't see them from where I am, correct?
You can see the bodies, but you can't make out any, like, defined features. They're laying in heaps on the ground.
Laying heaps on the ground.
Pretty well sliced up, too.
And it told me that it didn't hurt my grandparents. When I looked at it, did I trust that it was telling the truth?
Yeah, I mean, your passive insight gave you a pretty decent feeling that it was telling the truth.
Alright, I'll walk a bit closer and see if I can identify the bodies. But I am in a very much guarded position.
Yeah, as you begin to walk closer, it begins to back up a little bit. And it does like a backward somersault onto a like dresser like cabinet where it just kind of crouches there, going back to the same sitting pose that it was in when it was at the end of the hall.
And as I get closer to the bodies, do I recognize them?
You don't recognize them per se. They do have emblems that they carry.
What does emblem look like?
Those emblems look like this. A ring with chains around it and almost like an anchor in the middle.
Does this emblem have any kind of meaning to me?
You recognize it as the emblem of the Iron Brand.
I turn towards it and I just kind of bow. It seems Jack wasn't lying. Thank you.
It pops down from the dresser and almost like crawls across the floor towards you, stopping about halfway before whipping its neck upwards to look at you. As its head begins to turn almost 180 degrees, its body begins to turn with it before it stands straight upright again. And pulls something out of its clothing and holds out its hand towards you. And kind of shakes its hand slightly, almost beckoning you to grab it.
I'm gonna take the hand, offer, and like grab what it's offering me.
Yeah. As you grab it, can you make a acrobatics check?
Sure. Probably gonna fail it.
And yeah, as you do this, it grabs onto your wrist and pulls you in close and kind of like is examining you up close.
Uh-huh.
And then pats you on the head and shoves a lollipop in your mouth. And you just hear, "Good boy," as it lets you go.
What flavor's the lollipop?
Watermelon.
Decent flavor.
It kind of cocks its head to the side as it's looking at you, and like as its head turns, now that you're in such close proximity, you hear like a slight like cracking or ticking.
Like would it be like a bot or like a clockwork type ticking?
It sounds like bones snapping.
Okay.
I did good.
Is it like? So he sounds like a bone snapping type thing. I might be put off a little bit, but I'm gonna remember my decorum and my etiquette, and remembering that this thing just obviously killed things that were against my family, and
Also,
put
now
the best smile I can at this situation.
yeah, and there's
And
at their full height, they're about maybe 5'2", maybe a little bit shorter than that.
Oh, then definitely, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna nod yes, and like put a smile on my face as best as I can.
It begins clapping and like falls backwards before going into a roll and landing back on its feet. I
Is this kind of a conversation?
did good. And then it begins walking towards you again and then past you. And as it does, you see it brandish two sickle-like implements before jamming them into the backs of two of these creatures and starting to drag them towards the back door. And
So
these
is creatures not people?
No, they're people. I say creatures just because it's dark in the room.
Got you.
They're three grown men, fairly large, larger than you at the very least. Not as large as Wolfriend, but this figure begins dragging them with a very large amount of ease towards the back door, blood kind of wiping across the floor behind the bodies.
Oh, as I see this, I'm gonna like, wait, can I inspect them to see if they have anything of note on them before you drag them off?
Its head whips back towards you as it drops the bodies. Of course.
And I'd like to just walk up to the body and like inspect them.
As you begin inspecting them, go ahead and roll an investigation check. 15. The first thing you notice is on the first man, there are about 48 stab wounds across this man's body. Probably around
So a very little amount.
Probably around half of them are post-mortem.
Well deserved.
The man himself has around 30 gold pieces on him, He has the emblem of the Night Mother, not the Night Mother, the Iron Brand. And then he has across the room you see a short sword that, well, there's a few weapons. There's a couple short swords and a couple daggers, as well as a great axe that rest where the bodies were originally.
And is there any like kind of information aside from that on them?
Does not seem to be.
All right. I don't really take anything. I just kind of nod and say sorry. Just wanted to see if there's anything that would give away what they were doing here.
Yeah, the main takeaway is these men were brutalized.
I'm just kind of gonna nod, and then I'm gonna check the third one that's off in the corner or off in the distance.
Okay. As you go and check that one, you see this one is a little bit more equipped than the other ones. He has like half plate on. His like overall demeanor of what he's wearing and the way he like has obviously taken care of how he looked prior to this event. He was probably the one leading the other two. And you see as you turn his body in the temple of his head, there is a serrated playing card. And it is a 10 of clubs.
Off of context clues, I'm gonna look towards it and kind of hold the card up and be like, "Your calling card?" in an inquisitive way.
You call me 10.
I just kind of nod. Is there anything else on the body?
Yeah, there's around 80 gold pieces. There's also a what looks like note. And then
what's
he
the
has
note?
a great axe.
What does the note say?
The note is, for the most part, barren. There is an address, which is your grandmother's house. And then there is the name of your grandparents, as well as your parents and you, all listed under it.
I'm gonna look towards 10. Mind if I keep this?
Of course.
I'm just gonna put it in my pocket and then clean my hands. And I'm gonna start walking towards 10, and I'll just put my hand on the shoulder and thank 10. Thank you for what you've done. I will not forget this. If you need me, I'll be heading towards my grandparents now.
As you place your hand on 10's shoulder, you feel like a slight give, and as your hand presses into the cloth that 10 wears, you feel like the skin beneath is heavily scarred, like completely
Doesn't bother
over.
me.
You come play?
The question still being, is this a conversation?
Yeah, this is a conversation.
Can I roll for it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What was the roll again? Persuasion versus insight?
Persuasion versus insight, I believe. I'm going to tell you now, 10 has advantage against being charmed. It'll be rolling 2 dice. You're not immune, though. So we'll roll the first one. 14. Second one, 8. So,
As I'm talking to it, how do I feel?
I mean, what are you saying to it to charm it?
Gotcha. Of course, I'll come play with you again. Thank you for keeping an eye on my family. I really appreciate you looking out for us. Is there a way I can get in contact with you if I need your specific help again?
I watch you.
I'll just kind of smile, nod. All right then. I'll be seeing you. And I'll walk out the house.
As you're walking out, you see Ten resume pulling these bodies towards the back door.
And then I'll start heading towards where I presume my grandparents are.
Okay. So you start heading towards your family's storefront, the Braun Trading Company. Upon arriving there, you do see your grandmother in there working, as well as your mother. You do not see your grandfather or your father in there.
That's fine. I already knew this.
Your mom and your grandmother seem to be going through inventory currently.
Mother, grandmother?
Yes, what
As I,
what can we do for you?
who's talking?
Oh, your grandmother.
Got it. Okay. Grandmother. Would you happen to have some time? How long did it take me to get here? Specifically from where I was, from the inn to here.
From the inn?
Yeah.
It
from
took
the
you
inn to here.
about 30 minutes to get to the house and about 10 minutes to get from the house to here.
So about 40 minutes round trip? Or
Yep.
40 minutes one way, I mean?
Yep.
Grandmother, would you have time to, give me in approximately about 2 hours?
Give you 2 hours? What do you mean?
You know, the academy, correct? How I have my graduation exams, pretty much how I have to go run, solve, or complete 20 missions with the guild?
Yeah, I'm aware of the requirements from the academy. I'm paying your tuition. What about it?
Of course, grandmother. I've found myself in the midst of a rather tricky case. You heard nonetheless about the wyverns being taken from the guards post, correct?
Yes, they're taken straight from the Eyrie, from what I heard.
Yes. In the midst of looking for the wyverns, I found myself entangled with this group of adventurers known as Morkala, and it's in the midst, in the time I was spending with them, I came across someone you might be familiar with, Mr. Jack from a brotherhood of sorts.
Okay, so what is this really getting at? What are you wanting to know?
I just want to know if I can at least trust them to give me the information I need. And the group I've found myself with is finding it rather hard to trust me at the moment, and I'd very much like to use whatever I can to my advantage to try to help them trust me so I can accomplish my goals.
Right, where do you want to have this meeting?
Wherever is most comfortable for you. If you want to come with me, you may, but I know you're rather busy all the time.
Oh, it's fine. Where are your adventurers at?
What's the inn called again?
The Boar's Rest.
The Boar's Rest.
Very well.
It's been some time since we've walked together. Maybe we can walk and talk. I've been stuck in the academy for a long time. It'd be nice to spend some time with you.
Fine, very well. Let me clean up a bit, and then I'll be able to head back with you.
Alright. Thank you, grandmother.
She goes and starts picking up a few things that she's left about as she's been doing inventory. Kind of talks with your mother for a minute. Hands the store keys to her. Alright. Let's go, Victor. Take me to the Boar's Rest.
Of course. And I offer my arm to her.
She takes it.
And then we just start heading back, obviously, while talking about pleasant nothings.
Alrighty. Not that see here.
Oh, but before we get to the rest, I definitely do mention to her that I ran into 10 at the house with the assailants, obviously. I don't want to blindside her at the inn.
She seems shockingly unshaken by this.
I assume that we'll talk about this further in the presence of my compatriots, and then just keep walking. But I just wanted to make sure that was there so she wouldn't be blindsided.
Okay, so are you guys trying at the end trying to complete anything else while in the hour and a half that it takes for Victor to make his round trip?
Well, Riven's hearing what Uzmir had to say about the vision.
Okay, so he relays what he's seen in his vision.
I wish the Night Mother wasn't so mysterious. Just want a straight answer. Why does it have to be so complicated? He grumbles.
In the vision, while we was basically following the guy through Elmakath, was there anything that was noticeable? Like, would we be able to pick up on a direction that the guy was heading in?
When he was going through the alleyways, you recognized a few of the streets near the warehouse district. When he was actually on the hill, you saw a cabin and some woods in the background. But those are the only two markers that you would recognize.
I definitely convey that information too, to try to pinpoint where he was going or where we would end up running into him if we was to go in that area.
The moment that you speak of a cabin, that raises an alarm in your head, Riven.
Wait, you said a cabin?
Yeah?
That was my... I would call it home, but it wasn't home. It was more like a prison. Or a torture chamber. I know that cabin. If it's the same cabin that I think it is.
It would make sense that it was.
Oh, fuck. And I also have my armor being delivered over there, too. That's great. Fantastic. Alright, so... I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure if I'm ready to even go there yet. Even if I wanted to. But who was it in the cabin? Was it my father?
Well, I've not seen your father, but with me asking the Night Mother about him, I'd assume so. I don't know who else it would be, or there wasn't any really... You couldn't really tell who it was, I guess.
As I said, I wish the Night Mother was a bit more direct. Alright, then, I'm just wondering if it's really my father, if it's not some, like, impersonation like Corso, or if it's, like, or if it's being controlled, he's being controlled, or I know he's alive, but my head's just telling me that he can't be. I'm sorry, you two. You three, I mean, we have our own problems to deal with Jack and the Brotherhood and everything. We can just keep an eye out for now. I don't want anyone here to get hurt because of me.
So, as you guys are discussing this, it doesn't take much longer before two people arrive. To pull her onto here. Victor, you can drag your character onto the map.
Sounds good. Did it not drag? Why did it not drag? There it goes.
Alrighty. Drag this one on. There's going to be giant for it. Open it on an unseen layer. So, you and your grandmother arrive.
I'm gonna open the door and then yell that I'm back. Hey guys, I'm back.
So he's not dead.
We missed our opportunity.
Great, I'm glad you all see me in such high regards. Bloop. And I'm gonna open the door for my grandmother and let her walk past me.
Okay.
And as she's like walking past me, I'm gonna look at everyone. This is my grandmother, Adelaide Braun, head of the Braun Trading Company. She'll be able to answer some of our questions, hopefully.
It is a pleasure to make all of your acquaintances. I hope my grandson hasn't been too much trouble.
No more.
Yeah, nothing bad yet.
Well, I've been told that you all wish to ask some questions. And out of my better judgment, I will grant my grandson this request of you. But
Before you ask her any...
some
Sorry, go.
tea or something would be nice, Victor.
Yes, grandmother. I'll go prepare something. And I'll start heading back towards where everything is.
We have tea or
At this point,
I have some on me, don't worry.
the other black wolves kind of stand up as they start like pulling up their bags and stuff. And Doran comes up to you and says, Right, well, we'll leave you all to this. We're gonna go get some supply shopping done. We'll be back later this evening.
Of course. Just,
As I'm making the tea, Wolfriend, would you mind coming here for a second?
alright.
And as I'm making the tea to my grandmother's taste, I'm gonna look at him, pull something out of my coat, which seems to be something with a bit of blood on it, and I'm gonna put it on the counter. It seems the Iron Brand paid my family a visit. I'll explain more after I finish the tea. And I'll kind of just put it on the counter and continue making the tea.
What exactly is it that Victor put on the counter?
It's
It
the
is-
list with the names of like all my family and me.
Oh, are you pulling out the serrated playing card too?
I will keep that on me. I won't put that out there yet.
Okay. So, please, by all means, whatever questions you have, I will do my best to answer them, but I cannot promise you'll get every answer to every question.
Grandmother, here, your tea.
Takes it.
I have a question, if no one else is willing to ask one. How long have we been in, I guess, the good graces of the Brotherhood? Why are they protecting us?
It is a long story that goes back longer than you've been alive. When we fled the theocracy, it was a very dangerous time for our family. We were on the run, and as much as we've made a name for ourselves here in the Empire, we had just as much of a name in the theocracy. So we got on bad terms with the officials there, and we had to hire the Brotherhood to smuggle us out. But their protection comes with much more boons than it does banes.
Yeah, I think I've seen that firsthand. As I pull out the serrated 10 card, I don't put it on the counter, I just show everyone, and then I promptly put it back in my jacket.
I see you've met 10, then?
Rather precarious fellow. Your house is invaded by 3 ruffians. They've been dealt with.
I'm glad to hear of that. I'm sure it is not the first set of ruffians taken care of in that house.
I'm gonna turn towards the rest of the group. They were wearing the emblem of the Iron Brand. It seems maybe my poking around in their business rubbed them the wrong way, and as I turn to my grandmother, there's things you haven't told me about that may have had them targeting us.
There's a great many things I haven't told you, Victor, but you're still a young boy, and your schooling should come first.
I graduate within the week. This is my last quest. Don't you think I should know why my life is being targeted? As I kind of like nod towards Wolfriend to raise the letter with my name on it.
I'll do so.
You are part of the esteemed Braun family. But Jen has been protecting us for a very long time. That won't stop anytime soon.
Then do you mind if we ask about the Brotherhood? These fine people have been wondering whether to trust them or not. and I guess this would put their minds at ease. I, for one, see that they have done at least rather good by our family, and I have at least decided to trust them, as they have been protecting my life for, as you say, the better part of my entire life.
Personally, as the head of our family, I don't tend to trust anybody. But the Brotherhood has not given me any reason to break ties with them. They have upheld their bargain ever since we first made contact in the theocracy. Ken has been with us since then, protecting not only us, but you as well.
Are you being protected by all the Brotherhood, or just one of the sects,
Well,
like the clubs?
I know
whatever they're called?
Ken belongs to the clubs, but we don't really meddle in the affairs of the Brotherhood. Occasionally, we might aid them in getting a package somewhere that they needed to go.
Then can I ask, Grandmother, what is it that makes them want to protect us? What importance do we have? We are but a trading company. There's many out there that they could choose from. What is so important about us?
We are far more than a trading company, dear boy. How do you think we've made our fortune? By just transporting and selling goods? There's 1,000 shops here that'll do that. We offer specialty services.
Specialty services, huh? What do you mean when you say that, Grandmother?
For instance, if you need a package to arrive at a place where it should not be, we are the ones you might call on for that.
Is everything we do still in the greater good of the city? Is everything you've told me as I've grown up still as it is?
Yes, but there's more to it than that. I've not lied to you, sir. Everything our company that you know of is true. But there's more layers to it. Layers that you should not worry yourself with at this time.
I'm your heir, am I not? Should I not know of what's to happen with the company I inherit?
Your mother still lives.
My mother isn't to inherit it.
Well,
My mother is to help you at the moment, but I am the scion of the trading company.
as of right now,
That's the reason why I was
you're
sent to the academy.
As of right now, you're still a student, and I am still very lively. Upon the right time, when everything is handed over to you, then you will learn everything you need to know about how we operate. But there are some things that you do not need to burden yourself with.
Even if this burden would help me in my current investigation.
There are certain things that if you were to know now, they would put you in more danger than you already have been in. I will not have that for my grandson.
Grandmother, look around. I've already found myself in enough danger. I've already lived through one assassination attempt today. I'm gonna find myself in the presence of these, and I stop for a moment. I look around to everyone. Pleasant company. My life is gonna be in danger regardless. I would just like to know, at least arm myself with the information that you, my family, my loving grandmother could give me. I don't think that's something that, and I kind of paused for a moment. I just want to know what's I just want to arm myself with the information that could help me moving forward, help the people I found myself with. I don't want to walk into the situation blind. And I trust you, grandmother. I trust that you're not going to just let me walk into this. As you said, you'd rather have me very much alive than dead.
Right. I'm just confused as to currently the questions that you have asked don't serve any purpose in your current mission. Why do you need to know the exact inner workings of our relationship with the Brotherhood?
It's not that I need to know the exacts. I just need to know if I can trust them.
As I said, trust should be far and few between who you give it to. I will never fully trust the Brotherhood, but their help is more helpful than it is harmful to us. They protect us, and we provide certain goods and services that they otherwise would have trouble getting their hands on.
I'm just
It
going to raise my
is-
hands in defeat at this point.
It is a
I'm gonna look-
symbiotic relationship, Victor. One that you will learn to uphold when you become the sole benefactor. If you intend to work with the Brotherhood, that is your choice. But be wary, as many of them fancy themselves tricksters. They are harlequins, of course. The most honest of which I found to be Ted.
Then can I ask you this one question? Do you have at least deep ties with the Spades? To the point where I can at least ease my own mind in going into deals with them?
I can promise that they won't kill you.
I'll kind of shrug and look towards the rest of the group. I feel at ease. If you wish to ask any questions, feel free to take a shot.
Of course he would feel at ease. Remember, also, what is symbiote? That large word that Chia said.
Symbiotic.
Yeah, what is that? That's...
It's a relationship between two organisms that is beneficial to both of them.
Oh, Jesus. You know, grandmother, I'm starting to second guess this, but can you please at least answer the questions of these people? I do find myself with them in present times.
I'm sitting here waiting.
I think he just called us a dumbass.
Was it that obvious?
Then you wonder why we don't like you. Anyway, so to what lengths does the Brotherhood go, per se? I know they're not above killing, and I know they're not above bombing a place like the Adventurers Guild.
The Brotherhood has its hands in every portion of the underworld. If there's something illegal going on, the Brotherhood makes it their business to know about it.
Even the bounty hunters.
Yes, even the bounty hunter.
Is that also our business, grandmother?
What do you mean?
Is that part of our duties as well, to be ingrained in the darker side of the city?
We have our ties to the darker side, but more than anything, we're a middleman at most.
I'll kind of just nod and stay silent.
Well, friend, I'm surprised you haven't asked a question yet. You're the one that was really curious.
Is Wolfriend asleep?
Is everyone else asleep?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
I'm awake.
Oh my god, I spaced way the hell out.
Lol.
Lolo. That's supposed to be our leader.
Do you have any questions for Adelaide Braun?
Remember, you have a note in your hand that just lists all of my family with blood on it. And I just told you I found it in person, by the way.
In the hands
Yeah,
of
you
the
don't
Iron
remember that.
Brand.
He was napping.
Yeah, he was napping very hard.
Well, in regards to the Brotherhood, not a ton. However, and I'll just, present this this hit list, I guess, is what it is.
Hmm.
This was found in your house on the possession of Iron Brand members. Do you have any idea why they might be targeting you such?
The Braun Trading Company has very many. Yeah, one of the larger trading companies within Tira. I'm sure they have many a reason to hunt us down. However, it has already been taken care of through our ties with the Brotherhood.
Grandmother, is there anything in specific in recent times that might cause them to be targeting us?
Possibly, we delivered a package to an individual on behalf of the Brotherhood.
On behalf of the Brotherhood?
Yes.
I don't understand why that would cause them to target us.
Well, the only package we delivered in the last month for the Brotherhood, and shortly after it was delivered, the person died in a very horrible fire.
Well, since the person is dead, I think you wouldn't bequeath it to hide it from me, would you? Do you happen to have the name of the person we delivered it to?
I do not. It was just an address.
Do you mind if I get it?
Yeah, she gives you the address. It is... I don't have an exact address in my head right now.
Yeah, just send it to me later, it'll be fine.
Yeah, she gives you the address. It is in kind of the middle class area of Elmacath. You do remember hearing of a fire earlier this month?
No, I wouldn't, because I was engrossed in studies. The rest of them might.
I mean, it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, but remember, I still didn't know about the whole thing about the temple, so like that was part of my backstory.
Right. Okay, so
Do you remember like any like fire stories apart from his own?
yeah, this happened like earlier this month.
Oh.
But yeah, so that could be the only reason I could see them targeting us so brazenly, but as I said, it's probably not the first group of ruffians that has targeted us and that Tin is taken care of.
So based off what you said, Grandmother, does that mean we've had a long history of dealing with the Iron Brand?
Not necessarily the Iron Brand, I mean, but with the Brotherhood in specific, we've had dealings with for, well...
Oh, of course, I got that, Grandmother. It was just the way you mentioned the Iron Brand, and it was the most recent package. It implied other packages. That's why I was rather wary.
We've delivered other packages for the Brotherhood. But as far as the Iron Brand goes, we don't have any meaningful connection to. Our alliance
puts
with
me
the
at ease.
Brotherhood is it as far as it goes for Black Market. If we were to branch out any more than that, then we'd risk our relationship with the Brotherhood.
Is there any other questions you guys would like to ask my grandmother?
Very well then. Victor, I'm going back. Also,
Thank you,
you should
grandmother.
try to stay out of filthy places like this.
If it wasn't for my investigation, I would. And I kind of bow towards her.
Kind of nods. Hopefully we will see you back home soon.
I'll do my best, grandmother. I'll do my best.
Riven just whispers to Mavra, that family is so spoiled.
Can I hear that?
How quiet are you being, Riven?
Very quiet. He's trying to whisper to Mavra.
Alright,
Yeah, you
roll.
whispered it in my ear.
Alright. I need Victor, you can roll a perception check.
Oh shit, perception's on my best. Yeah, I don't hear shit.
You do not
goddamn.
hear. So, as Adelaide leaves, while contemplating the information that you've received, that is where we will end for tonight.
Dang, and I was about to talk to him about what I saw.
But you can talk about what you saw real quick.
Sure. And as she leaves, I'm gonna like kind of turn to everyone. I encountered a rather grisly sight. No one's gonna say anything? Okay, fine, continue.
I think people are zoning out towards the end. That's what I was
Yeah, I
gonna
feel
say.
No, it's more okay. You're gonna end.
And
No, 'cause
exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
looking around
where?
to like, I'm looking around.
This
It
is a
seems,
bunch
like I
of,
said
like,
earlier, Warfront has the note that I found at the body of one of the assailants that was in my grandmother's house. It seems they were targeting specifically my immediate family. And as we heard earlier, we've had a dealing with Iron Brand. I'd very much like to investigate this address that we've procured from my grandmother, see if maybe we've found anything over there. Maybe we can find some kind of connection, or at least find who owns the address.
for what purpose?
I'm gonna kind of roll my eyes and look at her. So you're saying, after they're targeting my family, you don't want to kind of figure out why the Iron Brand wants my entire family dead? Aren't you kind of smitten with the Iron Brand and wanting them all dead? You don't want to trace this tale?
He called you an idiot again, Mavra.
Yeah, I really don't care. He's a child.
What other leads do you have?
Plenty, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, yes, actually, we do. You know, one of them, your family friends, kind of tied up, but we have other loose ends. We have an entire page of loose ends and leads and directions and things that we have to do, that we have to get around to.
Basically, if you want our help, you have to be a bit more nicer to us.
Yeah, ask fucking nicely.
I think I've been rather nice. I've even let you guys interrogate my grandmother, though it seems no one was privy to asking questions, even though she decided to take very much time out of her precious day to come here and answer them. I was the
You've
only
been
one
an
in...
arrogant little brat, and you benefited from that conversation as much as we did.
Of course I did, but I also brought her out here
Ask
so you could.
nicely.
I'm not going to ask nicely for something that shares the benefit for all of us.
Then do it
I'm
by
not going to be a
yourselves.
pushover.
You know, even it was actually horrendous at teamwork. It was that you need some work on that.
I'm trying my best to solve this case with all of us together. I've done my best to try and give you guys any kind of clues that we've all gathered within the last 24 hours together. I think I've been very forthcoming with any information that I have, though it seems you guys tend to keep anything that can help me figure out what's going on from me. I don't think it's me who's not being friendly with any teamwork. I have been very welcoming with my information.
Exactly, that entire attitude of I know everything and I'm the best.
No, I do not have the attitude of I know everything. The Harbinger's sitting in the same room
You-
as us. I'm trying my best to figure out what's going on.
Harbinger totally walked off.
The Harbinger left.
Of course he did.
Look,
I'm
you
trying
need
my
our
best to
help.
figure out what's going on.
You need our help, not the other way around. In this case, at least don't treat us like we're all a bunch of fools. We have different options. We have leads. Plus, if you want help when it comes to your family, fine, we'll help you. But then again, we don't know you. So if you want our help, ask nicely. And maybe we will help you.
As
Now-
you say that, as he says that, like you kind of see my face like detense a bit, and like I kind of breathe a very deep breath, and then I let it go. I'm sorry, and I understand that you might not believe me when I say that. I'm just a bit riled up. Within the last 2 days, I've seen a temple full of bodies of people I've known for the better part of my entire life. I've walked into the family home I've lived in the majority of my life with bodies of people who want me dead for reasons I don't understand. I just want to understand what's going on. I understand that all of you have pasts and different traumas and why you don't want to trust people. And I'm doing my absolute best to not be arrogant with you, because I'm not. I am being as forthcoming with information as I can be.
Look, Victor.
I need to understand, this is my personality. I'm not just going to let you walk all over me. I will do what is best for the city, what is best for the people that I promised to help. I just want to know what's going on. And the last I heard from you guys, you had no idea what your next step was going to be. And you don't want to tell me what's going on. So I'm just trying to do what I think is right.
We did tell you. These people... You're out of your depth here. You're still
Yes.
young.
And they want my
yet-
life.
Indeed. You are... tangled up in this now.
Look, Victor. When Wolfren joined us, we didn't want to tell him anything either. Because we didn't trust him.
I'm not demanding you tell me anything. I'm just demanding that if I'm trying my best to give you information, I've brought even my own family here to be interrogated by you guys. You guys didn't ask anything of her. I did everything I could to interrogate my own grandmother about the secrets that I found out within the last half day. Things I did not know about my own family. And yet you treat me with disrespect and saying that I am being the one who is arrogant about this. I am trying my absolute best to keep myself composed when you guys are just continuously showing me new and different perspectives I didn't understand yet. I am doing my best to keep myself composed because I want to keep myself, my family, and this city in good order.
And I'll keep treating you with disrespect. Because everyone out there could care less about your personal feelings.
But you're here, aren't you? Are you saying you don't care? You don't seem like that bad of a person, Riven.
Oh, I
Yes,
care.
I've only known you for a day. Yes, I know you've done bad. But you aren't a terrible person. If you were, you would have thrown me outside a while ago.
information still on the table.
Maybe there are people that are keeping me sane. Because at the end of the day, I don't deserve them because I am a piece of shit. And that's Satan, and I admit it. But even I have those people that care about me, and that's because I worked hard to understand them.
Are you saying I'm not working hard to understand you?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. You're thinking about the end goal.
No, I'm not. I am working continuously towards the end goal, yes, but I am taking every piece of information as it comes. I think I've been rather adaptive towards every information as it comes.
Just think on it, right? The fact that you're just arguing with me right now is pretty much telling me all I need to know. You're not ready, kid. That's it.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes. Okay. Thank you, Riven.
You're welcome, jackass.
You're not ready, kid.
Wolfern's the only one here with me, right?
It would seem.
I'm gonna kind of walk towards him. Is this so wrong? I want to protect my family in the city.
Truth be told, no. It is that very same drive that led me to where I am today.
I just want to do right by the people that have given me this opportunity. I understand my family might not be the cleanest of sheets, and I've done my best to live the best I can. I'm trying my best. Really am. I'm sorry if that's not enough for you guys, but I'm going to keep at it. Even if that means I'm going to put a little bit of burden on you. I need to see this through for myself. As you saw, I don't have the pull that I wish I did with my own family, and I wish I could tell you everything that my grandmother knew. I did my best to give you the information that I could. I don't need everything from you guys, I just need to be accepted. At least enough to know that if something goes wrong, you're not going to just chase me off. At least you. You seem the most... similar to me. I can't see myself trusting Riven. He tends to be as childish as I am. But I know you know I mean good.
You mean
I
well.
just-
Still, you are in dangerous circumstance. And trust does not come easy. We barely know what you're capable of.
Of course. I don't need trust. I just need understanding. Understanding of my circumstances.
In time.
Thank you. That's all I need. And as I'm sitting there, like a small tear kind of like goes down like my right side, but that's it.
Okay.
This is a lot. I've been trying my best to keep myself together.
Indeed. You've already been exposed to much more than one of your age should have. For that, I am sorry. For what
Don't be
little
sorry.
condolence I can give.
I'm trying my best to just... There's a lot expected of me. I am a brawn. I'm stronger than I appear. I will do my best to aid you guys. Because it is my duty to this city. It is my duty to my family. I don't want to sit in fear of assassins from the Iron Brand. I very much would do my best to clear them from this city. I've spent the last few years of my life learning and hearing of all the great inventions that the Aetheric engineers before me have given to the city. The city is as prosperous as it is because of the academy that I attended. I just want to give a sliver of what I've experienced back to the city. I don't feel worthy of what I've been given. I've known from a very young age that I have great expectations laid upon my shoulder. I just want to give a sliver back. That's all I want. That's all I want.
In an ideal scenario, you'd be in a workshop or some mage's tower, somewhere safe, working on some gadget or concoction that would improve the quality of life of anyone you can get it to. But here you are, running with the dregs of society. We get our hands dirty. We do what we do for the greater good, yes, but it's not a line of work that one such as you, who already has such a future, should be getting involved with. I lost everything, on many occasions, and that led me here, stained beyond recognition, doing what no one else should.
I ask you a question then. If you can go back to that time and that moment before you lost everything, if you found out that you were at the precipice of losing everything, that you would know the Iron Brand was about to take your family, what would you do? Would you fight tooth and nail to try and keep them safe, to keep the city you were raised in safe? Would you deny me this?
I know full well that I cannot. You're in far too deep now.
I'm gonna kind of walk up to Orphan and like kind of rest my head on his chest. I don't want to see the people around me that have such great expectations. I don't want to let them down. I have so many people in the city I care about. These massacres, these atrocities that have been happening in the city. If I can do right by the people of this city, I very much want to. I'm not as strong as I showed everyone. I just want to keep what I have in my hands together.
You'll find your way. Of that, I've no doubt.
Thank you.
Just leave the
Sorry.
fighting, taking hits. Leave that to us.
Then let me pick up the pieces. I'm very good at treating wounds. I'm very good at fixing equipment. I've focused the majority of my life on that. It's something I've been trained for. I have hunted beasts. I've fought bandits. I've done my best to learn everything I could. I want to be of use to you. I want to be of use to Morkala. I really do. I just want to prove myself. I want the city to know that I have its best interests at heart.
Look, you're capable in your own ways. You're well learned, that's for certain. You know more about the workings of ether and the arcane than else any one of us. But there's still much you need to learn about the world.
Then teach me.
Learning that only comes with age.
I very much want to
In
learn.
time. In time. You will. We only wish to spare you some of the harder lessons.
Then don't you agree that I should be by you instead of fighting it on my own?
Well, we haven't kicked you out to the street yet.
Right, you are.
Besides, it would be irresponsible of us at this point. You're in a precarious position. You need protectors. And that is what we do.
Thank you. And I'm just gonna kind of give him a hug. Thank you very much. I'll do my best to be as useful as I can. Ask anything of me if you need. I just want to see the city safe. This is my
Just-
home.
If it comes to it, stay behind us. Alright?
I'll do my best to be deserving of watching your back. As I kind of chuckle a bit. Thank you. Sorry. I needed to let off a bit of steam. The last 2 days have been very overwhelming. I feel a bit better now.
So, as this heartfelt conversation comes to an end, will end for tonight. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time. Updates are most frequent on our Twitter at Cayman's Reject. You can find it in our info page here on Twitch, so please give us a follow. If you like to stream, please tell a friend. And thanks for watching. Night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.